Quantum stocks surge after JP Morgan investment push into strategic technology, including quantum stocks. So the bank said in a release that it would invest up to $10 billion in companies across 4 areas, including supply chain, advanced manufacturing, defense, aerospace, and frontier and strategic technologies, which include quantum computing. It has become painfully clear that the United States has allowed itself to become too reliant on unreliable sources of critical minerals, products, and manufacturing, all of which are essential for our national security, said CEO Jamie Dimon in a statement. I never thought I would say this before, but thank you, Wall Street, for identifying and recognizing quantum as a national security issue. Clearly, retail is not the only one interested in quantum computing. There's no way that the stocks would be moving this much without the support of Wall Street and seeing the value and the security risk. So amazing to see. And we have so much to talk about today. We're going to talk about a bunch of different quantum stocks, plus one new quantum stock that I'm buying heavily, which we're going to get to at the end. We're going to go over the stock heat map, some news, and we're going to talk about BigBear AI, which just exploded 22%. I'm not here to waste your time. Do me a huge favor, hit the like button if you appreciate content like this. Let's jump right in. So the big story of the day for quantum specifically was, of course, the JP Morgan Chase investment in the sector and other sectors. Looking at the stock heat map, we're seeing a lot of green. So we're seeing kind of a V-shaped recovery. I didn't do a video last week when we had the huge sell-off on Friday. We saw complete red across the whole market on Friday. So a little bit of a V-shaped recovery. We're going to go into that and I'll give you my thoughts on what I think is happening and where this might be going. So we are coming into earnings season. Buy the dip is going to get its biggest test yet as the tariff turmoil meets earnings season. So kind of two different forces coming into collision here. So the S&P was up 1.5, Nasdaq 2.2, Russell 2.79, and Dow 1.3. The IWM, the Russell 2000, has been getting more traction lately, and a lot of the stocks we talk about on this channel are in the Russell. So taking a look at some of these watch lists, unbelievable day for quantum. So you were reading that correctly. Rigetti has just had a 25% day, and I believe in the trading session touched $55 a share. D-Wave, earlier this year, I gave a $40 price target. We got our $40 a share close, and I posted that video back when D-Wave was under $20 a share in the teens, I believe. Arkit up 20%. BTQ had dropped down to $10 on Friday and even a little bit below, but has had a nice gain and is still running in aftermarket. IonQ had a monster day at 17%. The new quantum stock, CCCX. We'll talk about that later in the video, but I definitely piled into this stock today. I'm a little bit late to the party. It's okay. I can't be early to literally every stock. Sometimes I'm going to miss things, but I'll tell you guys the story about that and why I loaded up heavy today. Just down the watch list, amazing performance. And then a bonus watch list here that has some quantum, but also has some other stocks. BigBear was up 22%, Red Cat up 17, Ondas up 17. So Ondas actually had dropped to $9 a share, which is a beautiful entry point. One of the members of the Discord had brought that up, that they got that entry point. So congratulations. And Plug Power up 14% and actually had a $4 in front of it today. Plug continues to look bullish in the near term. And Poet was up 10%, and Sound also was up 10%. So it's hard for me when all these stocks are doing so well to even choose which stock in my portfolio to even talk about. But a lot of the members of the Discord today were actually having a great day. And before we look at the market, I just wanted to read a couple of these to you all. So Majid, thank you so much for having done your channel and for this community. So great to be here. And in days like today, it's magic for sure. Akili, thank you so much. And also remember that sentiment when the market is going red. And then Junk22 says, just wanted to give thanks to everyone on Discord and Majid who have done research and provided advice on buying quantum and AI stocks. Thank you, Junk. And Roger says, whilst these days are great, the best thing about this community is the support and shared experience. On the red days can be tough as an investor sometimes when your social circle isn't into it. I agree. Nobody in my social circle wants to talk about quantum stocks. So I'm glad we have this Discord. I'm very blessed to be part of this community. Thanks, Majid. So thank you for the outpouring of support. Really enjoy the Discord all the time and appreciate you all over there. Giving a shout out to everyone today. Thanks for the love. Let's start with the market. Okay, so the Qs I've got on the screen here, I've got two charts side by side. I've got the QQQ and I have the SPY next to each other. And I just want to show you both. By looking at both of these, we are not out of the woods yet. In fact, we dumped from the 613 down almost 4% on Friday and then even more in aftermarket. So you can see pretty clearly on the Qs that we've only had about a 50% recovery. So we haven't got back even close yet to 612. And I actually did consider a hedge on my portfolio on the Qs, but it's just so hard to time when the market is going to go down or to call a top. And we are going into earnings season. It's very difficult. So I decided not to. And then the SPY actually recovered even less. If we look at the bottom of the wick here to where it closed today, and it's down a little bit in aftermarket. So maybe futures are red. Maybe we have some pullback tomorrow. What I would be cautious about is if we have some sort of dead cat bounce and we see further selling. And we would probably need a catalyst for that to happen. And I believe earnings, there's no reason why earnings wouldn't be good, but just keep that on your radar for the QQQ and the SPY. Okay, so now let's start with IonQ as our quantum stock, our first quantum stock that we're going to look at. We're going to zoom out to the 1 hour chart. I'm going to take away my drawings here. So we can see that IonQ had this pretty substantial breakout after their analyst day. So they were trading around 30 to 44 per share. And right around here at 45, we had this explosion upwards and we had this nasty kind of nonstop sell-off. And then suddenly this huge reversal all the way up to this 80-ish. And we actually broke through that high. So we're making higher highs in this rally. And earlier this year, I'd given my price target for IonQ of $100 a share based on their acquisitions of Oxford Ionics and LightSync, which I believe will provide tons of value to their business model and will allow them to accelerate their roadmap. So for me, in the near term, I think we're still in price discovery. I think IonQ still wants to go higher. We'll see if the market backdrop holds up, but I am looking to IonQ for the upside as far as price discovery. Okay, looking at Rigetti quantum computing. So Rigetti continues to surprise, and I have been thinking there was going to be pullback. I had told members of the Discord I'd given a trade alert back here to grab $15 2026 strikes. I still have some of those in my portfolio as far as options go. And this thing has just roared to the upside. It's even up in aftermarket. As we can see, it's sitting at 55.25 in the aftermarket on the 4-hour candles. And on the 10-minute candles, we can see really the pullbacks have been shallow and the overall sentiment here has just been consistent uptrend. And I think that the JP Morgan helped a lot, of course, but these stocks do have a little bit of a life of their own. And the question is, when will the party end? When will there be that big sell-off? Well, it looked to me like back here, there's been some opportunities to get in. And when the market pulled back big, these stocks didn't drop like a rock. The uptrend is still very much intact. So it seems like big money, Wall Street, institutions, hedge funds are moving into these stocks and identifying them as potential growth catalysts. So that's something I wanted to discuss with you all. And something I mentioned on the Discord today is, are we seeing in real time big money, institutional money take essentially control of quantum stocks and quantum publicly traded companies? That's probably what's happening in real time. Are you guys, please let me know in the comments, are you buying Rigetti at $50 a share? Because somebody has to be buying Rigetti and a lot of Rigetti at $50 a share for the price to continue to go up like this. D-Wave Quantum now. Let's take a look at D-Wave. So D-Wave notched its all-time high today. It almost hit 41.96 and it broke out of a trading channel. So it was in this nice little channel of 32.47, which we had 1, 2, 3 validations, and it was rejecting off 37.49 a few times. So we got a breakout today above 37.49 and pushed all the way up to 42. And it looks like 41.96 or so might be something that plays into a resistance or support level. So I would keep 37.49 on watch for D-Wave as a potential, if we do have pullback, as a spot for potential support going forward. SEALSQ. So I know that a lot of you are excited about this one. SEALSQ has some upcoming catalysts. And I just want to mention, I forgot to say this, but Rigetti still has the 100 qubit chip coming this year. And I'm looking forward to that. And we haven't even seen an executive order yet for these quantum stocks. So it's really, the price action we're seeing is unbelievable. I don't know what to say at this point. I've been saying expect pullback. I'm going to say to you guys, if you're not prepared for all of these stocks to go down at least 25% in a single day, then you're playing with fire, because quantum stocks have moved a lot. So just understand that it's not a given that they will continue to do that, and understand that the possibility of pullback is real and probable. All that being said, LAES is now playing with a rally of its own. So it's building up some steam here, and it just hit a critical point. We're going to draw a line here. It breached this 638 level, and it's kind of sitting on the doorstep of this larger gap where we could see definitely a gap fill and potentially a retest to 956.10. And we'd have to go further out to see when the stock was trading at 26 or 28 a share. But in the near term, if LAES, with its two major catalysts, which are, of course, the CEO is the keynote speaker at this big Quantum and AI New York conference coming up next week that I'll be attending. That's a major catalyst. He'll be the keynote. And then second is the chips, the 7001 chips that should be coming later this year. And they are making new partnerships. So they're breaking ground even in the US, which is a huge total addressable market. BTQ. I mentioned that you can get BTQ for probably under $10 a share. And on Friday, it was so volatile that the bottom of the 2-hour wick, you could pick it up for $9 a share. It looks like it's pushing back up. BTQ has been very volatile, but the trend so far is intact. This is moving up. We've seen a high up to 16. We've seen violent sell-off. We saw huge red candles on Friday, on the Black Friday, found support at this 9. And I have actually been adding to BTQ almost every day, because I believe that blockchain and the quantum cybersecurity, the work that they're doing is important in this post-quantum world. So BBAI, BigBear AI, is to deliver AI-enabled edge infrastructure for the battlefield. So we saw this on the newsroom today. Edge AI must be fast, secure, and simple to deploy under pressure, said Kevin, CEO of BigBear. Together with T-Second as a preferred partner for hardware, we're equipping national security teams with the ability to process data within seconds, detect threats sooner, and adapt quickly, even in disconnected environments. So investors liked this news, and I think BigBear's had a couple news items. We can look at the press releases. So they're also, I was speaking to Gene on the phone today, and he was saying they're also at some sort of military convention this week. So we can see in the post market that BigBear is up to $9 a share, and we actually saw it break through this really pesky 876 resistance. And if we look back on the 4-hour, we can see that we had 1, 2, 3, and more recently, a couple more rejections at 876, and we actually pushed through 876. So this is actually a pretty substantial move for BigBear, as it's kind of slow walking its retest up at this 1043, which is its 52-week high. And if we look even further back at 1607, which was in 2022, which is BigBear AI was a different company. We were in a different world in that period of time in 2022. So you do have to wonder if there's still potentially asymmetric upside with all the defense spending and what's going on here with BigBear AI. I continue to be long on BigBear. Okay, and as promised, the quantum stock that I am piling into, I'm buying a lot of this stock. Infleqtion, the same company that's also reached out to set up an interview here. As I was looking a little bit deeper, I realized there's more similarities with Infleqtion, and the Infleqtion may be more of a peer. So right now they're on the private side, but they may be more of a peer to Rigetti and IonQ than I originally estimated. So in this sort of Rigetti versus Infleqtion, Citron says here that Infleqtion's partnership with NVIDIA. So Citron clearly favors Infleqtion over Rigetti and points to technical milestones and Infleqtion's partnership with NVIDIA Corporation as two of the most crucial supports to this thesis. So what's going on here is Infleqtion is joining Churchill Capital Corp, and they're doing this basically SPAC partnership type of thing so they can get listed on the Nasdaq, and it will no longer be private, but it'll be public. So this is if the SPAC goes through. The collaboration came as Infleqtion is preparing to go public via merger with Churchill Capital Corp X, hence the CCCX, positioning the combined entity for growth in quantum computing. So this is an abundance of caution and a high tolerance for risk, as this stock has already moved a lot since this news, which was not too long ago that this is happening. But essentially what we're seeing is CCCX was a $10 stock for some time. And then we're seeing now it's a $13 stock. And we've been seeing acceleration to the upside with increasing volume. And we're seeing that the stock is moving up. It's stair-stepping up quite literally. Every day that goes by, the stock is getting more expensive. And when you see quantum stocks like Rigetti and IonQ and D-Wave, there's going to be some FOMO there. People are going to be like, oh man, I missed those, so I got to get into something. And Churchill and CCCX and Infleqtion is a little bit more risky, because if the SPAC doesn't go through, if there's some sort of issue, then the stock could drop down to, I believe I heard $10 a share. This is very new for me. But anyway, I've been adding a lot of CCCX because I believe in what Infleqtion is doing. And just as a reminder, the type of investor I am, and I was talking to one of the bigger D-Wave investors in our Discord today, my style as an investor is to spread my bets. I don't put all of my eggs in one basket. So if I see a new opportunity, that's why these quantum startups, and I talk to all of them when they reach out to me, and I'm interested in the whole sector and investing in the whole sector, because I think it's a fascinating sort of evolution of our computing. We just covered a bunch of different stocks, bunch of quantum and BigBear. Hope you guys really enjoyed content like this. Make sure you hit the like button. It really helps more people see this. And if you want more content like this, make sure you subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. I hope you really enjoyed the content. I work really hard to deliver high quality content every day. If you would like to support my website and YouTube channel, I have 3 different membership options. I have the Quantum Bull, Gold Bull, and Diamond Bull. And each of those options has unique perks. If you'd like to join, just simply go over to the YouTube, click the plus button, and you can learn more and pick a level that's right for you. Thanks so much.